Welcome to EKGs Made Easy. This is going to be a video series where I break down exactly how I go about reading an EKG. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to heavily edit this stuff, so you might see me make a few mistakes. So it is what it is. Here we go. So when I think about all this as a whole, I look at this right here, right? This is my EKG pattern. So it's a P, QRS, and a T. Okay, let's start breaking down exactly what that means. So my P wave is representation of my atrial contraction, right? And that happens because of a depolarization of the cells, meaning the electrical stimuli fires, right? It causes this depolarization, and so everything contracts, and that's what that means, right? So my P is going to be my atrial contraction. Next, I have my QRS pattern. Now, you're going to get different variations of this, and we'll get into a little bit more of an understanding of why when we get there. I had a bug on my hand. So my QRS, again, is my ventricular contraction, again, through depolarization effect, right? The T wave is the ventricles resetting, allowing that heart to kind of get ready for the next cycle. Does that make sense? All right. Let's talk about how we do this. So we have a few different areas within the heart. We have the SA node, the AV node, the bundle of His, the right and left bundle branch, and then we have the Purkinje fiber system. Let's talk about each one of those. So the SA node is the pacemaker. This is where the heart generally will generate, that's a fun one, its impulse, right? So it's the starting point. So the SA node is the starting point, all right? That's the pacemaker. Next, we have the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is the AV node. This is going to be kind of like the person who kind of says, whoa, hold on, all right, you can go through. Whoa, hold on, all right, you can go through. And that's what it's doing to the electrical impulse. Does that make sense? And it does this, when it does this, it sends it to the bundle of His. It's like, hey, here it comes, get ready. And then the bundle of His says, okay, got it. And then it separates the two, right? So it takes that one impulse and it separates it into my right and my left bundle branch. And when I think about this, my bundle of His is like a meeting area, okay? And then we get on our highway system, my right and left bundle branch, and then we have the Purkinje fibers, and that's like my side streets. If you think of a highway system, right? You have the big main highways, and then you have all those side streets coming off of it. Well, that's exactly what this is. Does that make sense?